Hey guys, this is X. I'm going to be releasing videos on how to get the most out of tanking all the heroics in the game. I'm not interested in raids at this point, so I'm pretty much only going to be focusing on 5-mans. Before you watch my future videos on how to get the most out of tanking heroics, I feel it's very important that you know your role as a tank. My future videos will cover tanking heroics as a Frost Death Knight, but this video right here, this introductory video, covers all tanks in general. So generally, as a tank, you're responsible for two things. First of all, you're responsible for keeping the pace of the instance. The instance will only go as fast as you are comfortable with. You are the engine. You keep the whole thing running. You must realize everybody in your group is in a passive position except for you. DPS has to sit around and wait for you to attack something before they can move in, and healers don't have anybody to heal if there's no fighting going on. If you move slowly, the instance moves slowly. If you are quick to act and quick to react, then the instance is fast and fun. It's this level of responsibility that turns most people off from being a tank. This is why tanks are so hard to find in the Dungeon Finder. Secondly, you must maintain threat and hold aggro. Now, there are different types of tanks. First, there are average tanks. Average tanks do just those two things. They can hold aggro well, they taunt at the appropriate times, and they can generally get a group through an instance successfully on a regular basis. These are the types of tanks you will most often run across when using the Dungeon Finder. Then there are good tanks. Good tanks take their game up a notch by not only knowing their own class, but knowing other classes as well. They get a group through a run faster than an average tank can, and they often get asked by their group if they want to keep running heroics after the current one is finished. Primarily, what separates an average tank from a good tank is game knowledge. Good tanks know positioning of fights. Basically, this means they know where to stand and where mobs appear or patrol. They know the flow of most or all instances. Good tanks know the most widely used patterns for completing instances, so they can get through them quickly. They know what the others in the group can do. By knowing the basic capabilities of the other classes, a good tank can adjust the run slightly, and thus get a better run out of it. For example, let's say a shaman's in the group. A good tank knows that the group now has access to a tremor totem, so he can deal with mobs that cast fear spells more easily. And because the good tank has this knowledge, if the shaman isn't casting tremor totem appropriately, then the good tank can remind the shaman that he needs to cast tremor totem. Finally, good tanks know how to minimize risk. A good tank can pull an instance quickly by knowing how to navigate it, and a good tank can pull an instance safely by knowing what the bosses and all the mobs in the instance can do. So, let's recap. An average tank is someone who knows how to play the tank class. A good tank is better than an average tank because a good tank has lots of applicable game knowledge. Now, let's talk about great tanks. Great tanks are those tanks who are memorable and who make instances just come alive. They have all of the qualities of a good tank, but great tanks are on a whole other level. We've already said that knowledge and practice are what turn an average tank into a good tank, but it is skill that separates a great tank from just a good tank. Great tanks use abilities creatively. By being comfortable with every aspect of their class, a great tank has much better control of the instance. Great tanks don't avoid risk. In fact, great tanks welcome risk, and they know how to manage it. They do this because great tanks constantly strive to improve. It's easy to find a set way of doing things and just repeating that way over and over again. This is what good tanks do, but it is not enough for great tanks. Great tanks have an active desire to improve their game, whether that means pulling larger groups of mobs or just shaving minutes or seconds off of their average runtime. Great tanks manage people. They are natural leaders. Great tanks recognize that they are in a position of responsibility, and they not only embrace it, but most likely they enjoy it. The best tanks are fair-minded, make decisions quickly, and communicate well. Great tanks don't just run instances, they lead them. And most importantly, great tanks have fun at what they do. See, players of DPS classes have fun by swapping gems, and they tweak their spell rotation, and they go practice on the target dummies that are in all the major cities so that they can squeeze out every last point of damage per second that they can so that they can keep topping that damage meter. Players who are great tanks do something similar. They have fun by taking risks, actively looking for ways to get the most out of their abilities, and always looking to improve their game. That's what great tanks have fun at. The idea that I'm trying to get across here is that anybody can be an average tank, and with some work, anybody can also aspire to be a good tank. But not everybody can be a great tank. Most of the stuff that makes for a truly great tank aren't really skills at all, they're qualities. These are qualities that a person either has or they don't have. Perhaps they are qualities that a person will develop sooner or later, but qualities cannot be taught. The videos that follow this one will show you how to tank as a Frost Death Knight. To that end, I will effectively be showing you how to be a good tank. You will also get a glimpse into how I play creatively, but if you want to be a great tank, you will need to either already have all of the qualities I mentioned above, or you must seek to develop them yourself. I will end this introductory video with this. The most important thing in tanking is that you have fun. Never strive for anything in the World of Warcraft if it causes you frustration or costs you time that you don't have. With that said, I hope you guys will enjoy Frost Tanking 101, because I know I'm definitely having fun making it, and until next time guys, go out and have fun, enjoy, and cheers.